Welcome, Hannah, Teresa. I welcome myself and I welcome you, Chuck.
Thank you. Okay.
This is a space to explore and research and discover about this world, this word that we put the name trust. And in the description, Hannah shared with me on Telegram about the music, like she got the reference of the music that Jacqueline found. Like when I think about you, I trust myself. And this comes from music that Jacqueline sent to me. That is when I say it how it is in the music, Jacqueline.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
Yeah. And it's a music a lot about codependence and enmeshment in relationship. And it was quite of a joke, but it's one of the distinctions that we'll be exploring about what does it mean trust and why is it important or not for you to trust other people and yourself. And I want to start the space with logistics. We go for 2 hours from now on. So New Zealand we finish at 10:30 and Brazil at 6:30. And this is it's a warm casual space. So I really invite you to bring yourself and your research and questions, and even if you have an idea of an experiment you want to do in this space while we are unfolding, go ahead. Like I want to do that experiment so that you can make this space your space. And from my side, those are my logistics. Is there any other logistics?
No, I don't have any from my side.
Okay, seems that is closed. So logistic closed.
So I'd like to share a little bit about how this work talk came to be, to set some context and yeah, and share, how is this some of my research as well? Why do I care about this? So I'm romantically relating with a man that I have been for some time. And in the past 6 weeks, we've been physically apart. And that's new for me in my relating space. And that brought up so many fears of what would happen. Will it fall apart? Uh, and us as partners, arrived organically at having a shared space with Gabriella and the man that she romantically relates with. And so we've been creating these shared sort of reflection and coaching intimacy spaces with each other, to support each other's journeys. And I'll just share that Gabriella and with her romantic relating partner, they've also had a lot of experience being not in physical presence together. And so something for me about this spaciousness that's created is like so much fear about what can happen with all of that space, with all of this unknown. And so I was like, I need to know, like, how will I navigate this? How do I trust myself? How can I control this so that way I feel safe? And so I was doing all of these different survival mechanisms to make it safe, so I could feel like I could trust. And so much of me wanted to, put in these agreements and have these, create basically a fantasy world so I could know how it would go, so I could trust. this partner. And in covering deeper layers in these sessions with Gabriella and the four of us, it became really clear that this trust is really, it's like a crutch. It is a crutch. It is something to lean on that's not actually, it's taking me away from the real thing, which is really learning to trust myself to navigate whatever happens, instead of putting in all of this structure or survival strategies or things in place so it's a safe space for me to be. And then I'll just add, there's this new layer that I just got this distinction about yesterday from this research, is that it can also be a crutch, this thing to lean on, if I trust myself. It's like this story, I can trust myself to navigate whatever happens. And so that piece also is like, is this also a fantasy world of, okay, well, at least I can lean on that now. And so how am I still like avoiding being in reality in the small now with what is actually happening and navigating there? And
I
I want to
just,
pass it over to you, Gabriella.
when you say the last part, I'm laughing because you pull the rug out of the own title of the work talk, and I feel joy about that.
Yay.
It's like that.
It's
Amazing.
all bullshit. That's basically. No,
Thank you,
go.
Jacqueline.
Yeah. Mhm.
What brings me here, the light, the fire that brings me to research that with you is that I, I from the time that I've been with, the reason the the source is also the relating with my partner. Um, I've been relating with him for 2 years now, and 2 years, no, 1 year. And from this 1 year is more of the half time we spend separate, like physically separate. And no, it's 2 years. I'm creating confusion. It's 2 years, and almost 1 year of these 2 years we spent apart from each other. And from this all time that we've been discovering ways of nourishing intimacy and creating intimacy while we are each one living different lives in different places, doing different things. And we come together each time as a new person. It's like, who are you? This thing about trust became such a trap, a, a, a trap into the old him, a trap into the past. Like, I remember once that I call him. Usually he used it to, every time that we call, use it to ask what did I want to celebrate or what did I want to share with him. And then there was one of these calls that he came, and it was totally non-linear. He started to reading a poem to me, and this cracked me open because I was like, what? This is totally unexpected. Like, he never do that. And then I noticed that I secretly I was trusting him to do in the same way than before. And it was like attaching him to the past. And I remember this was the first time we started to talk about what is that trust. And then we did the experiment of not trusting at all. And for him was freaking out because he said, how can I relate with you if I don't trust you at all? And my question is, how can we relate if we trust each other? Because in my world, in what I've been experiencing, trust is so connected with expectation. Trust is so connected with, I expect that you will behave the way I want or think you should behave. And now with what you say, Jacqueline, about myself, I got that the way we write in the work talk, the invitation, I think is the same way. The way I expect myself to behave in a certain way. So I want to hear, I invite you to bring yourself in answering this question, why you would choose to trust a circumstance or a person or yourself. And what does that bring you here in that space?
Gabriela, please. Cortou pouco.
Okay, you want me to repeat
Yes, please.
the question?
The question, yes.
Okay, question is, why you would choose to trust? Why is it important for you to choose to trust some circumstance, someone, or yourself? And what is that is bringing you into that space? What is your fire to come to that space?
To come to that space of trust, is that the question?
No, sorry, I was not specific. To this work talk.
Okay, yeah. I will go first. Yeah, a lot of what you've both shared so far is resonating with me. Gabriela invited me to this work talk because we had talked about expectations in my space of relating with my partner, who I've been with for 5 years. And what you're saying, Gabriela, of yes, trust is an expectation that the other person or that you will act in a certain way, is really that lands with me, because one of the big kind of sources of conflict in my relationship right now is that my partner feels that he can't trust me because I am changing, because I'm not the person that I was a year or even 6 months ago. And so for him, it feels destabilizing. He's like, I thought you were a certain way and now you're not a certain way. And I think also part of the trust for him is that I was being adaptive previously in our relationship. I was not expressing what I wanted, and I did not have clarity about it, either to myself or with him. And so that's also part of the trust for him, is he wants to trust that I will do that, I guess.
What is that?
That I will say what I want. I think that's what it is, or he's just, or I think he would say, I think what he would say is, I thought you were being honest with me and you weren't being honest with me, and so now I can't trust you, and now I can't relate with you because I can't trust you, I think is what he would say.
Such a hook. And I'm curious, Hannah, what about you? Because you spoke about him this time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is the way that you are wanting to trust him?
Yeah. When I think about it for myself, I also feel resistance to this, like the idea of like not of no trust at all is really scary. I feel a lot of fear about it
Because
because it feels scary to me to it feels scary to not know what to expect and to be navigating completely unknown spaces all the time. And yeah, I like my I don't know if it's my box coming in or like my mental body, but like there's something in me that's like, well, how are you gonna ever have kids if you don't if there's like no trust? Because like you need to raise a child in a stable environment, and so without trust you can't do that. So that's one thing that's coming up. And then yeah, actually I guess that's the main thing that's coming up. And even as I say that out loud, I realize like how many assumptions I have about like how it needs to look to raise a child.
Mhm.
I have a question here to you, Anna, because you said that he said you were honest and now you're not honest. What does that mean? What is
My partner.
yeah? What it was he meaning with you honest and now you're not honest?
I think it's more that he felt, so I shared with him like I realized that I had been adaptive in certain ways in our relationship, and so I wasn't actually saying what I wanted, and I wasn't being clear. And so for him it was like, okay, you weren't being honest. Like this whole time we've been relating for 5 years, and you actually haven't been honest. And so if you haven't been honest, then how can I trust you? And then how can I have a relationship with you? Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So I guess he felt scared.
When he said that?
Yes, that's my guess.
I think I felt a lot of things. I think I felt angry.
Oh, I mentioned him. I guess he felt scared.
Oh, he felt scared.
He
Yes.
felt scared. Yeah.
Yes, I think he does feel scared.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I want to not get too into the like hypotheticals about, who else might be feeling what, because we're here now. And I want to bring this distinction of when you are speaking about him, Hannah, of him telling you you're not honest because you were doing something and now you want to do something else. That's new information for him. And then also when you shared about your expectations about how child rearing or raising a child should go, how because of it's like the trust is creating this prison of expectation where now he can't connect with you, or you cannot have children because can you see how it's creating this series of events? I trust you, now I have expectations, and now if they're not met, now the possibility is killed.
Yeah, and I'm feeling joy right now because it's such like a radical kind of like just breaking apart like what modern culture tells us we should want in our relationships, which is trust, and is that in modern culture it's like yeah, it's like till death do we part. Like you want in modern culture, the story is that like you want someone that you can always rely on, that you know is always going to be there for you, who is going to take you to the hospital if you're sick, who is going to take care of you, grow old with you, all of these things. And yeah, I feel joy about how radical it is, and I feel also fear about about how radical it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Hannah.
Fiona.
Thank you.
Seems you are cooking something, Masha, in your head.
I connect a lot with the Hannah's story about when you start to change, your partner felt that's unstable, and I had this experience, and I felt like I was not consistent or contradictory. So I doubted myself when I was in this situation, because I was in my world, I was being authentic, like I was changing my mind, like from one week to another, and bringing something new. And the person I was like, no, you're changing your mind, or I cannot follow. You're going there and that, and I'm confused. So I think I I have emotional need to be trustful, to be considered trustworthy, trustful.
Trustworthy.
Yes, yes, and it's something that I need to prove that people can rely on me.
And what
And
is the Masha, what is the requisites to be trustworthy in your world, in your universe?
what is the reference?
The requisites. Quais são os requisitos
Requisitos.
para você ser confiável?
Yeah, I need to be there. I need to yeah, I need to be good. I think it comes a lot of from the good girl box. Yeah, I need to be a good person and do things right.
And it seems that you said that you cannot change your mind.
Yes, and that, yes. And yeah,
Okay.
yes. Mhm. Mm. 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 And that's is what is coming for me right now. Is about how much I care about being trustworthy, and the small expectations and the small things or trust that I have into people. And I think when I do this, I'm searching for stability or for safety outside me. When I trust that something will happen or that someone will behave, it's like it's projecting something to the future and try to control and find safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Masha.
Yeah, for me, when things are all the same, I don't trust. And I noticed that it's really strong in me when I see behaviors and things being always the same, that's when I have doubts about the authenticity of that, of the genuinity of that. How can things be always the same? How can only if they are in the patterns of behaving this way because this is how they do it, or this is how I do it all the time, without being present and honest with themselves about what's alive in them then. And now with the PM work, I have words for this. And I can identify this as something that was always triggering my not trusting. Like, people are doing this out of habit, not because they want to do it. And this is where my trust gets shaken, where my when I shrink, when I isolate, when I get out of the spaces or the relationships, or when I block intimacy, is when often I notice the patterns, the continuity of patterns. And I'm also investigating if that is a block for me to be intimate. So there's this thing going on. Why do I feel not trust when things are the same? So I'm investigating that as well. And answer your question, Gabriella, about what's the requirements for trusting. Somehow for me, the respect for the other or for myself.
What do you mean by respect and acceptance?
Yes, if I change my mind, that's okay. I'm not a bad person because I changed my mind. So I'm not judged. I'm not judged because I changed my mind. I'm not.
So respect, hold on. So respect and acceptance is that if you change your mind, it's okay. And then you can trust. Is that what you're saying?
Respect, respect is that I'm not judged. I'm not judged because I changed my mind.
So you can trust. You can trust when someone is not judging.
I can trust when someone is not judging. I need to sense that's not judgment, right? Because someone cannot say what they think and be pretending. So it's not just a verbal interaction, right?
Yeah, so you are seeking if they are judging or not. And then
yes.
If you sense that they are not judging, you can trust.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's clear. Yes. Yes, so that's where my search for trust goes as well, is how judgmental others are. And how that energy of the judgment is. If it's out of strict belief systems, like social norms, or social norms, the right and the wrong, and the good and the bad, and the small and the big, and that kind of duality. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When someone is authentic in what they say, then it lands in me, and it's like, okay. Even if it doesn't feel right, or if it creates some discomfort, it's like, okay, you are in your authority in your being to that you know what is best for you then, even though it can change all the plans that we were going to do, or maybe now I don't have a team with you anymore. Now I need to go on my own. But it's like, okay, I value that. I value that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hear something like, I trust people to be, or actually that you can trust when someone is authentic and they're saying what's really going on.
Yes. I appreciate that a lot.
Mhm.
And
What?
There's something else, Jacqueline.
yeah, and that there's somehow there's a flavor of this expectation. And if they don't meet that expectation, then I see a benefit of blocking intimacy, like you said.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I'll write that down.
what is the benefit? What is the benefit of you having, what is the benefit of you having this expectation that if someone is authentic, then you don't have to trust them?
Is this the safety, the illusion of safety, that manipulation wouldn't be in place. So there's a fear of being manipulated, being used. So when my expectation that I can be safe when other ones are honest, to eliminate that possibility of being manipulated or abused or used or fooled, being fooled. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm getting, Gabriella, we had talked about doing this breakout or maybe not, because we're this group, maybe we could stay together. And I just want to check in with you, because even just hearing Teresa's exploration, there was the trust sentence, and then these expectations, and there's a benefit that's maybe small, but immediately jumping to the fear. There is.
Yeah. Before we go in the experiment, I want to take 3 minutes for us to write down, because what I notice we are doing here is to identify what is our construct of trust. So you said, Teresa, that for you trust, you can trust when the person is authentic, when you can sense that you are not being judged. So you are scanning, are you judging me or you're not judging me? And it's important for you, the person, to be authentic and to know what is best for the person. The person know for what's best for her. And each one of you were speaking through what you're saying. For example, you said, Major, that trust for you is that you need to be trustworthy. And it seems that you put a lot of expectations in yourself to be this trustworthy person. And then you have a series of requirements of how can you pressure yourself to be a trustworthy person. And Johanna brought about the assumptions you create relate to long term, like this construct that trust in relating, if you don't have the trust, it's so scary and unsafe. And trust for you is important to have this predictability to raise a child, for example. So I want to take 3 minutes for each one of us to go and really answer trust is, and start to build this construct, and then we move into the practice. Is there anything you want to add? Yes.
Oh, sorry. I want to propose writing I need trust because.
Mm.
Yes, I accept.
Gabriella, will you keep the time
Yes,
for the,
I will.
thank you.
Hannah, can you please repeat what you said?
Yes, I need trust because, or I need trust so that, or I need trust in order to,
Mm.
is the form of the sentences that we will write.
Thank you.
Mm. Mm. 1 more minute. And go to an end.
I feel like I could keep going.
Yeah. Do you want to propose more time?
I propose 2 more minutes.
Before that, I want to read a popcorn a little bit, because then each one of us can post out a little bit the next 2 minutes. So will you read one or two that came to you?
And I also propose, Hannah, if you have things just coming, just jot them down. Like if they're flowing out, just write it
Yeah.
down.
I wrote, I need trust so that I can feel loved, worthy, and chosen.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I need trust in order to not feel fear. No, I need trust in order. Oh my God, I'm mixing the because so that in order. I need trust because I feel fear you will not be there for me tomorrow.
Mhm. Yeah, I need trust so that I can fully express myself, and also that I know what to expect. And also so I can act.
I need trust to be to people and to be included,
What was the first one?
to relate with the people, to be around people and be included.
So that, what is that makes, what is that part of the trust for you to be included?
Wrote, I need trust because I want to relate to people and be included.
And why is trust necessary for that?
And people will consider me, they will see me like a good person. Comes back to the good person.
So you need trust to feel as you are a good person.
Yes.
I want to check, is there something like I need trust? So like it's something about them being there, like that they'll stay or they won't leave or that they'll,
Yes.
so you need trust that they won't leave if you do what?
Yeah, if I mess up, or if I don't meet their expectations, or
Mhm.
Wow, that they
So you-
would want to leave if you don't meet their expectation. Mess up is that you will not meet their expectation.
yes.
Oh.
And would you also check, does it work in reverse? For investigation, like you feel fear that they would leave if you don't meet their expectation. And what happens if they don't meet your expectation for your investigation? Mhm.
Another one I wrote is I need trust in order to create plans in the future.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
I
what came
also,
for me is that at least I know that if I have the trust, I know that, and then from that
What is that,
I can
Teresa?
the safety that they wouldn't leave me, that I won't be alone, that I'll be accepted, that I'll be loved, that I'll be cared, that I wouldn't be kicked out, that I wouldn't be alone. So if that is there, then I can be myself. Then I can be anything that I am.
Wow, if there is this safety, this trust, you can be yourself in whatever you are.
Yeah, only then.
When you are yourself. Yeah.
In very small amounts.
Seems you're feeling something, Teresa.
I feel sad about that. That I put so much limitations in myself based on the outside, always on the outside. Because the fear of being left out or alone, or it's scary. It's huge.
Feel sad of noticing how many limitations you put yourself based on the outside
Yes.
because of this fear of being alone and left.
Yes. Stay small.
Thank you for feeling your feeling. Discovering that.
Yes. That's been the being able to say it is the unfolding of expanding, because it's been always there. yeah, it's constantly limitation. Yeah, thank you. And he helped me to yeah, I wrote a few things, but when Jacqueline questioned her about the expectations of the others, not the belonging, that was like, it's all about that, actually. It's all about that. The need of having this space with others that I can be myself. Otherwise, I somehow I can't. Need to be on guard.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
I have the intuition to move into the research about fear, Jacqueline. So curtains up. I have a conversation space holding with Jacqueline right now. I have the intuition to go in the exploration of fear, because what I see this as a big doorway to go deeper in that what Teresa is sharing, and I think each person can find a doorway into one thing, to find what is the root of fear that source the need for that construct.
Mm-hmm. I'm a yes, and I have one burning thing that I want to just share, another observation before going into that, and I'm a yes to going into the fear research.
I accept.
Curtain
is down.
Yay.
Go.
We could keep the curtain up. I don't mind.
No, the curtains up is just when we are interacting like that, and then we come back to the group. It's a game that came to my mind right now. A distinction.
Exactly.
Go, Jacqueline.
This metaphor feels so perfect actually for what we're about to go do, putting the curtain up somehow. And yet the thing I want to share is there's these expectations about how other people should act. So, they should treat me like this, they should be like that. And then there's also these expectations about how I should act. And then there's another kind of expectation, which is, I think, this fear part, which is this expectation that they'll act this other way. Like I'm scared about how I expect them to act.
Can you repeat the last one, Jacqueline?
Yeah, it's like there's a fear about how I expect they might, this fear how I expect they might react also.
Yeah.
Like they might leave, they might be angry, they might do this, they might do that. So there's the how I want them to act expectation, and then there's the how I don't want them to act expectation.
Yeah, as you are using your fear to anticipate what will happen. To anticipate to this, you said the word anxiety, my share, when you are preparing the space, this anxiety of waiting. What will the person respond or act if I do tan tan tan? And this is the anticipation of the fear of repeating the past into the future. So when you say, Jacqueline, they might, I feel fear that the person might leave. Or if I, for example, I'm seeing a person that she's not being authentic, and then I have the impulse to ask the question, it seems that you are not being authentic. What is going on? And then I feel this fear of asking this question, because I anticipate this person might leave, or this person might judge me, or this person might not like my question, or this person might be scared of my question and shut down. So create millions of possibilities that is not in the now. And this is the territory I want to open to us to go deeper. And before I want to check Hannah, are you complete about the writing? Because we said to have more 2 minutes to write. You asked it, you proposed that.
Yes, thank you for checking. I'm fine to continue.
Okay. So I want to explore the territory of fear, because I think that trust is a way to bypass fear. Trust is a way to bypass our fear in relating and creating intimacy. So I put this label, I trust you. So I stay safe. I don't ask a question. I don't take a risk. I don't share my fear. I don't get vulnerable. I don't ask for what I want, for what I need. And I project in you what you should do, like your partner is doing with you, Hannah. It's throwing you these big hooks of you were lying before, and now I cannot trust you because you were lying. And it's true, you were lying. So you could start admitting by him, yes, I was lying to myself and to you.
I have.
Yeah. And then it's offering the new doorway. Like, I've been lying and I'm discovering how to not lie to myself. Are you on my side to go in that journey? Do you want to learn to not lie to yourself? And then you open the door. And then he might say no. And this is so scary. To make offers like that and to have the fear of he might say yes and he might say no. And what if he say no? So my proposal is that we'll go in breakout rooms, in 2 breakout rooms. And you would take one of these pieces that you wrote down. And with your team, you go deeper in what is the fear behind that. So I'll take one of mine. I said, I need trust in order to create plans in the future with my partner. What is the fear behind it? The first fear that comes up right now is that I feel fucking scared that if I don't trust him, he will be in another country, another place, and I will not be able to meet him. I'm scared of not having a place to meet him. And I want to find a place to meet him. And I feel scared of the unpredictability of not having time together in person. And I feel fear of proposing him. I want to meet with you in this date and at this time for 1 month in Brazil. And I feel fear that he have already another plans. And then I feel scared of be abandoned, of it's come this thing of I feel fear of being abandoned by him because like he has something more important than me. So I feel fear of going to that place in myself, of feel abandoned and that he has something more important. And I like with the help of you, I want to go deeper in that. But I'm giving now an example for you to sense that, to really go, what is really the fear that you need to trust instead? That you're trying to avoid the fear. And will be I propose 7 minutes for each. And it did, 7 minutes for each. Or we finish at 10:30. Oh, we have still 1 hour. Amazing. Yeah, let's do it 7 minutes for each. And in the trio will be less time.
5 minutes. 5
5
minutes.
minutes. Thank you, mathematics. So in the trio, 5 minutes for each. In the pair, 7 minutes for each. And each one of you take care of your own time. Any questions or additions for that research?
Yes.
Yeah. Go, Hannah.
Do you want us to coach the other person and going into their fear, or is it more of a listening space?
You hold space for the person and you use your fear to see, like, if there's a question coming to you that can support this person to go deeper. So bring your intuition and your impulses into this space. as a space holder.
And the question again is, will you repeat the question that you're proposing, Gabriella?
Yes. You choose one thing that you distilled. I need trust because, or in order to.
Mhm.
And then you will go navigating why do you need that? What is important for you to have that? And what are you scared about? And you start, I feel fear because, and go down the elevator.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. I've created the breakout rooms. Are there any other questions? Okay,
Reorganizing here the space, but I'm here.
okay. See you on the other side. I will open them now. And I will put my timer on for 16 minutes. So I will close them in 16 minutes.
Yes. Hello, Teresa. So
Hello, Gabriella.
we have 7 minutes.
I have 7 minutes.
Do you want to start holding space or navigating in yourself?
I like to navigate because it's quite alive. What you said really land on me, that the fear of that something's more important than myself. Yeah, that rejection, that was that's like landed
Okay.
really deep.
Okay, so start picking one thing that you wrote about. I need to trust because that you want to go
Yeah.
deeper.
I lost my. Oh yeah. Yeah. Somehow it came this that I need to trust so I can relax. Yeah, there's the and it's in everything is the relaxing that I know something is relaxing because I can be myself. It's relaxing because I'm not being rejected. So, but the thing is, I need to trust so I'm not scared. So I'm not in the fear is not overwhelming. It's not like freezing me or isolating me or activate doubts in my mind. Or yes, that's so I need trust so I can be. So I can be here.
When you are scared, you cannot be.
Yes, when I'm scared, I'm on the watch. I'm watching it. I'm on alert. My body is that has tension, so I may move faster. Actually, I move faster. Everything is faster for me. My actions are really fast, abrupt, sharp.
It's slow down there, Teresa, and go one part before. What are you scared about? Your fear right now. You fear of feeling fear because
I feel fear because it's scary to discover those things in me. Discover the pain. Yeah, I have fear to discover and be in the pain of the pain there is
Which pain?
Yeah, the pain. The pain of being what I haven't been. The pain of the pain of the change, the pain of the yeah, the pain of being being what I haven't been, the pain of being what I'm not been.
Because when you were you, what happened to you, Teresa?
I was judged, and I was
By whom?
labeled by my parents, by my
Who of them, mom or dad?
both in the different ways.
Both in different ways. So when you
My
were
dad-
you, your mom and your dad judged and labeled you.
Yeah, made me small, made me like that I shouldn't be like, that I was wrong,
Ouch.
that I needed to be different, that I wouldn't survive in a world if I am like that I need to tough it up, that I need to be hard, I need to be selfish, not be in a dreamland of saving the world, not be emotional, not crying too much.
Don't feel, don't exist.
Yeah.
Don't think.
Yeah, too much. I was too much. And my reasons for that too much were not acceptable. So they were labeled.
You were not accepted by your parents.
Yeah.
What were you missing from them, Teresa?
The space to be, the space to be the one to discover who I am. Yeah, that allowance of let her be. She will find out. And yeah, that's the patience, the creating a space of patience, of presence, and allowing things to unfold.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being, oh no, that's not possible. All of that. Yeah.
You need to trust. So then
I can be. Yeah. I need to trust, so then I can be. I need to trust, so then I can be. I can be, yeah, I can be. I can be with my impulses. I can be with my change. I can be with, I can be without filtering it all the time, to try to fit in, to try to say the right thing, to try not to cause pain in others, to be.
Yeah, so you are waiting for the permission to be.
Yes, that came as well. I need trust, because then I can be myself, to have permission to be the self.
To have, and by be, you are meaning to bring your impulses, to say what you think, to say what you feel, to say what you need.
Not to be cut off. And the cut off goes so deep in a way that I'm totally put out. So the circle closes, and this is another EHP that I need to do. The circle closes, and I'm out.
Yeah.
And I'm out, alone. That's it.
Mhm.
That's it. And that's it. It's like death almost. Like that's it.
Mhm.
No way back. There's no way back. Even that, there's that if I'm out, there's no way back.
Mhm.
So the fear is survival. It's a survival fear.
Yeah, and we are going to the end. What I heard mainly in the beginning is that you need to trust so you're not afraid. Because
I
you
need
said
to
you need to trust so you relax.
Yes.
And then I asked
need to-
you, what do you feel fear about your fear? What do you feel scared about being scared? And it was when you started about your experience of not being able to relax when you don't have this permission from the outside. From like that you did not have that with your parents, with empty space, free of expectations to be. So
There's also the old, the old map of the fear that, scary cat. That's childish.
yeah, and I
No.
have no wonder, Teresa, that you were alone. So
Uh-huh.
there's nothing more scared to be in your fear alone.
Yeah, yes, that's another thing. If I'm scared, I'm alone. Yeah, I'm pushed away. Yeah, it's deeper than it's like I'm not allowed to feel fear. It's not acceptable.
Us?
Because you can't do anything with fear.
You cannot do anything with fear.
You can't do anything with fear. Fear is a weakness. Fear is a freeze state.
Yeah, and you did that with your hands.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a freeze state. It's a panic. It's yeah, it's a block. There's a fear is there's nothing forever.
Wow, you feel fear and there's nothing forever.
Yeah. So I can't feel the fear, so something can happen. So in the fear, there's this numbness. Let's use this word. There's this blockage. There's this.
Mhm.
It's almost a disappear.
Yeah.
I don't exist if I.
It was the time, and my yeah, I want to explore a little bit. So I want to pause from here, and I invite you to keep researching about that because it seems to be a big doorway for you of researching your fear, the relationship you developed with your fear, because it seems that every time you feel fear, you go into this experience as a child that you were alone, because probably you were really with your feelings, because if you cannot feel, you were alone with your feelings. So you learn to be afraid.
The strategy that I developed is I don't feel fear, and anger just kicks in automatically. So I don't stay in the fear enough to get whatever information I may have with that. So I mix fear with anger a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Gabriela.
Thank you for exploring. I will go now.
Yes.
So yeah, I would take this one that I pick up in the main room. I want to go deeper. That I need trust in order to decide things together and to create a plan together with my partner. And when I don't trust him and even myself, where I will be, because I'm traveling a lot last 3 years, and I change my mind in each week where I want to go. And I feel fear that if I don't trust him, we will not find a time together. We will not find time to meet, to create the space to be together.
And what is that? Creating the space together.
It should decide to say, I want to meet with you in Brazil this date for 3 months or 4 months. And then it's like a big future. It's like 4 months is, in my experience, like a lot of time. And then I feel scared of committing. I feel scared of proposing something that I don't know if I will want to stick with, if I will change my mind after the first week.
Fear of commitment.
Yeah, it's like I proposed that I want to be with him for 4 months and create a writing house, like a shared co-living space and being together. And I feel fear that I might change my mind. And then I feel fear that I might change my mind. And then he will think that I'm not reliable, that I'm always changing my mind. And then we cannot create because I'm always changing my mind.
You feel fear that if you change your mind, he can't rely on you, can't trust you.
Yeah.
What's the fear in that?
I feel scared that he I feel scared that if I propose something and commit to something and then I change my mind, he would just give up of trying again. I feel scared of him giving up and not trying it again.
You feel scared that he give up and not try again.
I feel sad about that.
Yes.
Something to investigate. Hello and welcome back.
No. I want to share one more thing because the breakout room braked before I said to Teresa. And what I discovered, Teresa, is that I feel sad because I think if I change my mind and change the plans, he will not want to make next offers. When I say give up, I think he will not want to make next offers for intimacy.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. What did you found out in that research?
I was so surprised how much of my fear was about what other people think of me. Yeah, it's really, at least the one that I went into, it was less about my own fear of how something would go, and just more of people will think I'm crazy, people will judge me this way, people will think that I'm worthless or not valuable.
And what does that mean to you when someone label you like that? Hannah?
Worthless. Yeah, it's this the fear is that I'll be I'll be kicked out of the tribe because I don't have anything to offer.
So your sense of belonging is in what you have to offer.
Yes, yes, and how other people perceive what I have to offer.
So other people decide if what you have to offer is valued or not.
Yes.
And what is that? What is your reference when it's valued and when it's not?
What do you mean? What is my reference?
How do you know when it's valued and when it's not?
I know because of feedback I get.
Okay, which feedback is that you are valued and which feedback means that it's not valued?
It's also through hearing people's judgments, not about me directly, but about other people. Like if I hear like my mom has never said to me like, I would be disappointed in you if you ended this relationship. Like my relationship that I'm currently in. And yet I've heard her say things like, just, you know, kind of, yeah, I guess criticizing like people who don't who cannot save their relationships. And there's like, and it's it feels like a cultural meme as well, of like, if you don't save the relationship, then you failed. So it's also, yeah, it's like how these things are represented, like in media, in pop culture. Like I feel like it's it's just this part of my thought where that is like very, it's like baked into it. Like it's not, yeah, it's not something specific that like someone has even said to me. It's just there.
Mhm. It seems that it's really about meeting the another person's expectation, Hannah. That your mom has this expectation or this meme that if you don't save your relationship, you fail.
Yeah.
And you have this reference of being valued or not valued, being failured or succeeding.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, I want to share that there's something even going on in me right now in this work talk about this. Yeah, and I feel fear to say it, and also this joy to just reveal myself, which is what I got to in this somehow I arrived at this meme that I've been aware of for a while again, which is it feels related to you, Hannah, which is no one wants nothing. It's like, yeah, if the curtain goes up and they see that there's really nothing here, that like I need to know what's going to happen and have control, because otherwise they will see what's behind the curtain, that there's really nothing here. And that I need all of these things, like my body, my mind, all of my resources, my capacities to be something, because underneath it all is nothing, and I'm scared of being found out. And I even see how I was so scared of doing this work talk with you, Gabriella. And I'm just realizing it in this call right now of this fear of being nothing. Like that you would find out, or like standing next to you, it would be so obvious that I have nothing.
Oh, you were scared of doing this work talk because standing close to me would be so obvious that you were nothing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I even noticed myself like looking at the clock, like, ah, when will it end? And it's like, what is going on? And I felt really tired starting this. And it's like, I feel all this fear of yeah, like somehow I did the same thing where I like withdraw so I can't get hurt if I'm not fully there. And I realize that's what's going on, because I'm scared to be nothing, to not look good, to not be smart or something, or be a good space holder. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it has to do with trust, but it's something like I I didn't trust myself to be okay with feeling like nothing here, so I withdrew. And I feel sad about that, because I haven't really fully been on your team, and I didn't realize how much fear I felt. And right now, even I trust you to like, I see these expectations, like I trust you to be a good space holder. I trust you to be neutral. I trust you to, you know, yeah,
I have a proposal, Jacqueline.
yeah,
Substitute, I trust you too, and I say I feel scared because
Yeah, I feel scared about being found out as not like as just
Okay, I
how
will
I'm
pause you. I will pause you. Now you're going to the emotion, and you're
okay.
saying of the in the relating right now. Come to the now. I feel scared because
Yeah, I feel scared because I feel scared that that I'm gonna be reactive. I feel scared that I'm gonna like try to fight to insert myself and make sure I'm seen and in the space, and I'm gonna look stupid. And yeah, I feel scared that you'll not want to work with me again, Gabriella. And I feel scared that you're more, yeah, more than me in your capacities as a space holder. Yeah.
all these fears that you shared right now, Jacqueline, choose one to create right now, to ask a question, to move or to connect more.
That's like, mm, mm. Yeah, wh- what is blocking you or any of you right now from bringing yourself more fully into the space, into this relating space right now? Because maybe you have an expectation about, yeah, who is the space holder or who has the authority or, you know, whatever the expectation is here that is somehow blocking you from making your next move based off on your impulses.
One thing is blocking me is that I trust that this space has an end. I expect that this space has to close in a round way, and I'm scared that I am looking at the time and checking, okay, where do we have to go now, and how to wrap up the space, and how to not make it be boring to Hannah, Major, and Teresa, because they choose to be here, and like I I expect that that this will not be boring to you. That I have to bring something and entertain you. And right when you brought that, I did this question, Jacqueline. The aliveness of this space, I feel scared of nothing makes sense. That this space is not making sense anymore. It's not in the line of the rolling that was happening. And then now I'm feeling joy because I look at you and I see you alive and a yes for discover.
Hmm.
Yes, thank you, Jacqueline, for bringing you with that, because I'm going through a similar thing of holding space for myself and for others, and that's the dialogue of, oh, I'll be stupid, I don't know enough, I can't do it, the other ones gonna judge me, and then what I think I am is gonna be throw out of the window, and then what do I do? So I feel a lot of joy to to hear you put words in my sensations and what's going on for me. which brought clarity. So I feel joy with that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm having a new impulse for or maybe it's just something to explore. I'm just gonna go. I'm really in the unknown right now, and I feel glad about it. And I feel fear that I'm making a total mess. But anyways, here we are.
But no, Jacqueline, go with your fear.
Go.
Yeah, it's about authority. It's about authority, which is some other research that I've been doing recently. And it's like when I'm giving my authority away, like I'm giving my center away to someone else. You know, I trust you to behave like this. I expect you to behave like this. And so it's with you. It's, you know, it's outside of me, and I'm deferring to someone else, or it's like I'm giving my center to the trust. It's like, okay, because I'm trusting this person, I can just relax. My hands are clean. I don't have to hold it anymore.
And by relax, I want to add that you want to not feel fear.
Yeah, and I don't want to feel fear. I don't want to feel anything. And it's like, it's all outside. It's not mine. It's like I'm disowning it, like it. And the it is my fear. Yeah, it's my feelings. It's my resources. It's my impulses. And so it's like somehow I'm disowning all of it when I give this authority to someone else, like to Gabriella. Like, you know, I trust her to take care of the space if I don't show up. Versus I trust, or I rely on my impulses to navigate me through the total nonlinear unknown of what's happening in the space right now. And that it will take me or us wherever we need to go.
What did you use to shift, Jacqueline, from the place where you were of trusting me to bring the next impulse in the space and giving me the authority into taking it back to you?
I feel so much joy. It's happening. Something is happening here. So much so that we lost Teresa.
Yes.
I hope, yeah, go.
My camera gets all these trippy lines on, and I was told that it's really trippy for people, so I turn off. But I'm here.
Does anyone have any resistance to...
Wait, hold on, Jacqueline. So you are assuming that this light is trippy for us, the same way that people said to you that was trippy. Are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay,
Will
so
you
I
check
check.
assumption?
I check. Yes. That was so good. Thank you for that. I ask everybody if that is trippy to have me like this. If you prefer, yes. If you prefer
the video
that,
off.
Yeah, that I prefer. If you prefer that it's black, and I'm here. I'm just.
Teresa,
see
I will pause you. I have a proposal. Now you are giving the center way for us to decide if you appear or not. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
So will you do over by owning what you want first and then proposing for us?
Is any resistance that my camera be trippy, that it be on and off? Is any resistance to that?
No.
0.
Okay, thank you.
And do you want to hear one more feedback, Teresa?
Yes, thank you.
The way that can be even more powerful to land in me what you're saying is to say, I want to be here with you, with my camera showing up. And it's happening this. Do you have any resistance about that? So you bring yourself what you want. You did not brought what you want.
Yes, and that's my truth in this moment, is I want to be here even with my camera tripping. Is any resistance to that?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking what you want.
Thank you.
And I feel so much joy. I'm having such a go right now, and these impulses, because it's like all unfolding right now. Like Gabriella coaching you, offering these, I want is really negotiating intimacy. It's an offer for intimacy. You bring yourself first, what you want. You put yourself vulnerably out on the table first with your natural impulses. And that is, in a way, moving from your authority and relying on yourself and your natural impulses. And at first it feels unnatural, right? Because your whole life you've been adapting. You've been doing what Hannah's been doing and living a lie. She's been lying to herself. She's been lying to her partner. So everyone else is like, oh, that's how it is. And you were not being authentic, Teresa. And so you were not saying what you really want. You were assuming how, making it so we didn't have a problem and taking yourself out of the equation. So if you come back to your authority to negotiate, to rely on yourself to negotiate what you want. And then what happens?
The fear of rejection is so big. The possibility of having a no to what I want, and then what? That's
Teresa, I have an experiment. What will be for what you would be rejected right now in that space?
if I turn my camera off, or can you say again, please?
Yeah, for what you would be rejected. What do you feel fear about being rejected here in that space right now?
That I needed to have the camera off, and that's not the same for me. If I turn my camera off, I'm here, but it's not the same for me.
Okay. So if you turn your camera off, you would be rejected by us. Is that what you're saying?
If you prefer that I had my camera off, part of me, it's not allowing to be here as it is. Yeah.
Okay, I did not get yet. But what I wanted to say is that your fear point to your aliveness. And then when Jacqueline said about when you are with your authority, and then you said the fear of being rejected is so big that you give it your authority away. And this is the old map of fear. And I think this is really the root of the construct of trust. We trust in order to not, like I was going into my list at the end of the experiment with Teresa, and it's like almost actually everything, like I need trust to not feel fear. Like I need trust to create plans with my partner, to not feel fear that he might say no to my offers. I need trust to not feel fear that he might not be there for me when I need. I need trust in order to know that he might change his mind any moment about anything. So, and your fear points to your aliveness. So this is why I asked Teresa, what will be scary for you that you think you would be rejected? Because this will be the thing for you, that the possibility of you doing it.
What will be scared for me to be rejected?
Yeah, what is that you feel scared of being rejected?
I'm out. It's the fear of being pulled out. I'm out. I'm not part of.
Yeah, but before being out, what you were scared of doing that you make you go out?
What could happen, or what would you do that makes you rejected? Is that it, Gabriella?
Asking for what I want.
Asking for what you want might make you be rejected by the other person. And this is what you did here. with the team, and when I invited you to bring you in and to check your assumption.
Yeah.
If you,
Yeah.
can you say what is your yeah mean?
It's all this dialogue that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't use, I I don't have value, I don't matter.
Okay, Teresa, these are all the stories.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Mm-hmm.
that comes with you with triggers. The discovery I'm celebrating is that you discovered that you feel fear of being rejected when you say what you want.
Yes.
And you said you want to being showing up here in this space. But you closed your camera because you thought that it will be trippy the way your camera is behaving for us.
Yeah, causing pain to others, causing discomfort, causing
Yeah.
not even
And
knowing that if that's the case. Yeah.
yes. And you trust that your story, your assumption is true. And the aliveness happened when you take the risk to say, I want to appear. Do you have any resistance about my camera being like that?
And that's
Yes.
you relying on your wants, your impulses, you expressing them, and you navigating whatever happens. It's you relying on you. And even whatever happens, relying on that also being for you. Whether it's a healing or transformation or whatever, relying that all of it is for you.
Mm.
I want to share something. Is there resistance?
Hold on one second. Teresa, are you complete about
I'm
this?
complete. I'm in this wow state. I'm on this. Yeah. I want to
And
be.
Hannah, is the thing you want to share about Teresa or something else?
It's something else.
Okay, I have one. I feel fear that it's too much because you said you're already in a wow state, Teresa.
It's not about Teresa.
Sorry,
No, I'm
something.
yes. No,
something
no. Thank you, Jacqueline. I'm here. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you full?
Jacqueline,
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. It's an impulse for an experiment that I have that I want to give you, Teresa, and I have the sense that you're already full. So would you check and let me know if you're already full with taking more in right now?
I'm full.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hannah, go.
Yeah, I feel angry because I do feel that when Gabriella was saying, I feel fear, I'm checking the time, I want the workshop to round out in a certain way. I was like, I want that too. And I feel angry because I feel fear now that we won't get to the other parts of the exercise. So I want to share that. And yeah, I feel angry about that.
Will you use your anger to source what you want?
Yes, I want to continue with the exercise or whatever was the next step in after going into the fears behind the feeling of trust. And I wanted to bring something else that came up just now, Gabriella, when you said You said the old map of fear. The old map of fear is the root of this construct of trust. So I need trust so I don't need to feel fear about a certain thing. And I have when you say that, I have a meme coming up for me that's like, that sounds exhausting. Like it sounds exhausting to like be constantly feeling fear, or to be in this low level state of fear, which I know is also part of the old map of fear. So yeah, I want to bring that's coming up for me. I'm curious if other people have that meme also.
Will it turn into a question?
Yeah,
Like,
do other
who else?
people also have that meme?
Yeah.
Wow, all of us. It makes sense we are in a workshop about trust.
Year of the fear.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing your anger, Hannah, and asking for what you want. And I, like, me and Jacqueline, we had an experiment to do about discovering what is the expectations, to distill what is the expectations behind the fear. So you feel the fear, and then you create expectations about another person. And there's a benefit in creating these expectations and deciding to trust. And the direction of where we are going right now, my experience is much more alive because it's coming from what else is possible beside trusting. And this is such a new thing that I discovered with you, Teresa, right here, right now, that instead trusting, I can decide to feel my fear. And then comes up the memes of what's blocking that. Such as what you said, Hannah. If I feel fear all the time, might be overwhelming. My nervous system will die. I will not relax. I will never relax. I have that one. Like, if I feel fear all the time, I will never relax. The thing is that I'm feeling fear all the time. This, like, if the direction that I want to start to walk in the end of this work talk is denying reality, saying that you cannot feel fear because you are feeling all the feelings all the time in different percentages. And the question is, how do you relate with fear? Does that make difference? I had an experience this weekend of sailing for the first time. And I was choosing to experiment if I would be exhausted, if I expressed my fear all the time. And it was 2 hours of sailing in a really rough ocean. It was really like the boat was like this and the water was entering the right side. And it was really scary. I was like almost 60 to 80% fear. And I talked with the 2 women. I will be expressing my fear as it is. So I will be screaming. Are you okay with you? And I'm okay. I'm holding space for my fear. Are you okay with that? And they have been doing feelings work, so they know what I was speaking about. And they said yes. And then for the 2 hours, I was, and then I calmed down, and then the boat shifted, and I screamed. And they were talking. They were in their bubble, in their space. They were talking, and I was like, all the time the fear came, I was expressing. When we stopped to have food, my story of overwhelm, of fear, it was totally broken because I was as alive as I'd never been in my life. So the invitation for me, it's about coming to reality and to make tests of, is it feeling of fear really overwhelming? Or is it when you are blocking the fear or numbing the fear or denying the fear that is exhausting? because the electricity is always running in our nerves. Otherwise, we will be in coma. You know, when there's no electricity in the brain and the person is in coma forever, or for like 2 years or 10 years sleeping in the hospital, there's no electricity going in the brain. There's no fear. You are dead.
Mm.
So yeah, in the 6 minutes to close this space, I want to hear what is alive in you about that, and what do you want to experiment about that, because it's really about shifting your relation here. What I'm getting in my research until now, and might be another thing for you. Yeah.
What was the thing you said at the beginning, Gabriella, where you said the planned next step of the experiment was to, what I totally blanked. What was it?
The planned structure that me, Jacqueline, and Maja created before the space was to research what is the expectation behind the trust you in a specific thing. Like, I trust that you will respond to my message. What is the expectation? The assumption and the expectation. And what is the benefit to have this expectation?
And I'm so burning to add this thing where, Hannah, you brought your anger before, like it's not going how you expected the space to go. And you're still like, what was the planned next step? And somehow it blocks being with what is, with what we are, what is possible to discover now. Because it's not the plan, or it's not and for me, I've been feeling so much since I shifted and I kind of blew up the space. I've been feeling so much more present and alive and here because I wasn't, adapting and trying to be a good space holder. And I was like debating, like, this isn't the appropriate time to talk about this. I should talk about it separately with Gabriella and blah, 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 blah. And by using my fear and being in my authority, be like, okay, this is happening. I can navigate this. I can just go, and I don't have to stick to some plan. And I also trusted Gabriella that we could navigate it together. And now I'm hearing myself say it. But yeah, I have this expectation of Gabriella from our conversation earlier where we said we have these exercises we want to do. And then also we want to like go with what is also alive. And so I created an expectation about that. Like, yeah, go, Hannah.
Gabriella, will you share what you're thinking right now, or what is coming up for you?
Yes, I felt fear when you were speaking, Jacqueline, that you were justifying yourself.
For going.
Yeah, for shifting the space. And I want to ask, is that this question that you wanted to ask, Hannah?
Is that the question that I wanted to ask?
Yes.
No.
What did made you to ask this question?
What what made me ask which question?
What are you thinking, Gabriella?
Oh, yes. I don't know. I think, one second. Yes, I think I felt fear. I think I felt fear about responding to Jacqueline, about me responding, because I felt fear. I felt fear about it, yeah, turning into a kind of like argument. And and I thought you might have something different and non-linear to share that would be different from what I would respond with.
I want to check what I get. I heard
Yeah.
you feel scared.
Yeah.
You felt scared of bringing what you wanted to bring, and because you felt scared that you would be argumenting with Jacqueline. So you got to ask me a question to check if I had something different than that.
Yes.
And what you would come with.
That's right. Yes.
To rescue you, Anna?
What's the question?
My question is, did you ask Gabrielle somehow to rescue you? Or rescue the space? To avoid an argument?
I don't know. I'm checking. I think my fear was telling me that what I was going to say, that what I was going to respond with, was what had like a right wrong flavor to it, and so my fear was telling me that I did not actually want to create that. I did not want to bring that into this space, and so my fear told me instead to ask Gabriella what she would bring. That is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah, for revealing what happened in you. Like you've been vulnerable to share what was really going on. And I don't want to go deeper in that because I want to honor our time. The research question that I led to you is that what in Jacqueline sharing hooked you to enter in the war, to enter in this that your fear told you that you would enter, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
Because this is a really real, alive thing right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you available to stay for more 5 minutes to check out?
I am available.
Yes.
Yes.
What about you, Masha?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Okay. And in these 5 minutes, I propose we check out what is one thing you take out of this space that you want to try out. And I will enter in my cell phone because my computer is almost turning off. So go popcorn, whoever wants to start.
I when you were talking about the expectations that leads me to trust someone, I discovered, and it comes with the beginning when Jacqueline asked me, I I actually don't trust. So I'm like in this game, trust and don't trust. And usually I don't trust people. So I already expect that my needs won't be met, or that I will be disappointed, that people will just leave me. And I want to research about the fear of not of creating this like bad expectation, and the purpose, because yeah, it's a block for me to be present and to relate. And seems like trust, and like, and yeah, that I don't, this story that I don't trust, this sensation that I don't trust, and I want to keep searching and looking to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it's making a call. One thing that I invite you to experiment, really simple and practical, measure, is to during the week make clear invitations of being together, and discover what is this fear about waiting the answer that you have. So like do at least 5 offers of intimacy during this week. And you start with, will you come to have a dinner with me? Or will you go in a walk in the beach? Or will you cook a dinner for me? And you can navigate in your fear. Like, what is more scary for you to ask someone, to invite someone to something? And you go with that. So you can have a practical way of researching, what is that fear really about?
Thank you.
I feel myself with a lot of fear, like I did something wrong. And I'm also checking where I got hooked. And I'm really glad. I'm really glad that I made not one but 2 messes today. And I'm really glad about it, because it's leading to a lot more aliveness and discovery. And yeah, and I'm feeling a lot of fear. So yeah, my experiment, or what I take from this, is to keep making messes so I can like learn how to navigate or clean it up or whatever needs to happen. So my experiment will to be keep making messes and navigating through the unknown that comes from them.
And I would say to shift the mess into this following your impulse. Because what you did here, for some reason you put as mess because it was not following your controllable plan.
Mm-hmm.
And in my world, all that you did is that you followed the now. It was not a mess in my universe. So to research, what is that you have about messing up?
Thank you.
What I'm super inspired by this workshop is the aliveness of fear, and the experiment of that unfolded in the now with you, Teresa, and the camera, and like how of this started to unfold. The distinction you're working on about fear, that trust is a bypass for fear. And I want to implement that in my relating with my partner too. So what is the practical thing I want to try with him this week is to, every time I call him, I will start sharing what I'm most scared of being intimate with him right now. And I'll go in that direction of I will share. I'm scared, Leonard, about singing to you. I feel so scared about singing to him, and and yeah, and we'll experiment to go with the fear in the next call I'm with and see what happens. And might not be the singing, might come another thing in the moment there.
I want to thank Anna for going deep in what was alive for her with the purpose of her questions, and the catching that your impulse, it may not be productive and transformative, and keep the connection. Yeah, I value that so much, that I witness you doing that, because I can relate to that a lot, and somehow witness you gave me this, it landed in me. It's like, yeah, which is again the fear of being wrong. Yeah, I have also that fear of being wrong, and how to do when situations bring that in me. So thank you. And I take so much from this time here, because real life happened. It was not just a talk about a topic. It was all happening between us the whole time. And that's where my learning actually happened, and my wows come, and it really lands in my body. It's not in my mind, it's in my body. It's like, oh yeah, this is how it goes. Yes, thank you. So yes, I also have the impulse to say there is a fear club happening with Maria Diaz. If anyone are interested in that, I think it'll be easy to find that information. It will start next Saturday. She had introduction this Saturday, and we'll go for a few weeks. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
I am.
The 5 minutes were completed, and I want to hear you. So I'm extending the minutes.
I will be quick. I'm also researching about getting hooked, and I realized that I got hooked. And yeah, when you said, I think Gabriella, you called it out correctly that I was hooked. And yes, so I'm looking forward to investigating that some more. And yeah, I feel glad to continue this research about fear. And I think I will join a fear club. So yeah, thank you.
Yay.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
And you need your fear to admit that you're hooked. And I want to celebrate you the path, because I remember you from the Gremlin transformation, how resistant you were to admit that you're hooked was there. And now to get you to
I don't remember.
You don't remember that? Okay. So you can like I remember I was in a tree cell with you, and you were so resistant to admit that you're hooked. And I celebrate you that you did that so different, like the way you handle your reactivity. So I celebrate you, the path you've been walking.
Thank you.
I also want to celebrate you, Hannah, because the last time I saw you, I didn't know that this was a big part of your research. The last time I saw Hannah was in a space practicing getting hooked and not letting it overtake you. So I can attest to the fact that she's doing the research indeed. Yeah.
I need to go. Thank you so much. And I see
Yes.
you all again. Yes.
For coming.
Bye.
Yes. I'm
Bye.
closing this space. Thank you, team,
Yeah.
for this alive research. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.